LEGO just officially revealed the final set coming in 2025, being the fabled UCS Death Star. That is why in this video I'm going to be ranking all 30 sets that came out this year, from worst to first. There is no reason why we can't just get straight into it, starting with the 30th spot, which is the worst set from 2025, which I think is the Mandalorian and Grogu N1 Starfighter 4+ set. Now, I'm not the biggest hater of this set. I actually quite like the minifigures, and the build is not all that bad for a 4+ set, but a 4+ set does not meet the same quality standards of a regular LEGO set, which is why I cannot put it any higher than most of the other sets on this list. The only set on this list that I can make a case for the 4+ set being better than is, of course, the number 29 spot, which is the Juggernaut. I could go on for hours about how bad this set is. It is absolutely pathetic. The minifigure lineup is actually pretty good. We could have used a couple more Galactic Marines, but they do also need their wastegapes. They have printed ones, which is absolutely awful. But Commander Bakara is absolutely awful as well, the chipmunk mouth. Kayadi Mundi is the only really good minifigure, and it would all be excusable if the build was good, and it's not. It is absolutely tiny. There's nothing turbo about that tank, and it's just so fragile. Have you seen the reviews? It is absolutely atrocious, a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 set at most, and deserving of the 29th spot on this list. The next spot is the number 28th, and it is the Millennium Falcon Polybag. Now, surprisingly, this is actually better than the Juggernaut, even though it's a Polybag. Embarrassing, to say the least, to the LEGO designers who designed the Juggernaut. Again, I could go on for hours about how I could complain about that set, but I'm here to explain now why the Millennium Falcon is in the number 28 spot, and that is because it is a very decent little Polybag. It costs £3.50 if you're buying it, or you could have gotten it as a gift with purchase during the first week of May. And in terms of actual quality, it probably is a better overall set than some more sets on this list, which again is embarrassing, but it's a Polybag, so I'm not going to put it any higher than some of the other sets on this list. Next up in the 27th spot, I have the 327th Star Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Now, I actually think this Battle Pack is a very good quality set. It's got some amazing minifigures, well, nearly perfect actually. The only thing that they are missing is an actual good pauldron. They could have just made a downsized cloth version, would have been a lot better than the plastic one, but the plastic one is still a step in the right direction for LEGO, but they also need the printed wastegapes, and also the helmets are a bit lackluster. So overall, the minifigures are pretty good. The builds are absolutely fine, to be honest. The Spider Droid is a great upgrade over 2022, and overall it's an amazing set. Bar the $45 price point. In the UK it's £35, and it's still £10 overpriced, and even then, it shouldn't even be 25, it should be 20. Honestly, a battle pack should never be more than £25. It is absolutely absurd to me that a battle pack is costing £35 or $45 in 2025. An amazing set, but one that I'm not going to put any higher because of the outrageous price tag. Next up in the 26th spot, I have the TIE Fighter with Imperial Hanger Rack. Now, this is the gift with purchase that you're going to get if you buy the $1,000 Death Star on release date. It's a £900 set, and it's just absurd that this is the gift with purchase that you are getting. This is a TIE Fighter that is smaller than the 4+ one that we got for £20 back in 2021, and I thought that was the worst TIE Fighter, and at least somehow managed to make it worse. Now, it is nice that you get another couple extra Stormtroopers and a TIE Pilot, which I like, and I also like the maintenance equipment that you can get to add to your Death Star, but it's just absurd that this is a gift with purchase. You should have gotten something exclusive for the $1,000 price tag you were paying on day one. A pathetic looking TIE Fighter that kind of looks like a washing machine, to be honest. The next set is the only mech set that we got this year, being the Darth Maul mech, and I actually do kind of like this set. I think the lightsaber looks a little bit awkward with how short the hilt is, but otherwise it's a fine mech. The entire mech collection just seems a little bit stupid to me, which is why I'll never put one of them into the top 20 of a list, but the mechs aren't bad overall for what they are, and it's a nice way to get that same Darth Maul minifigure that you also got in the £60 Sith Infiltrator in 2024. The next set is the only Rebuild the Galaxy set that we got this year in the Force Burner Snowspeeder. I actually really like this set. It looks very sleek. I love the new cockpit design for the Snowspeeder. I'm sure that's going to be used on a regular Snowspeeder in the next few years. I like the minifigures as well, but the only issue with this set is the price tag. I believe this set is £45, and that is just way too much for a Snowspeeder. It should be more like 30 to 35. That would be much more appropriate for a set of this caliber. But overall, this is a decent set, and one that I think deserves the 24th spot on the list. Next up is a set that I really like, being the Kylo Ren's Shuttle set. It's the midi-scale variant, and I think it's an absolutely amazing one, and it fits very well with the midi-scale line, is what I'm trying to say. But it is very overpriced as well. This set is £70. It does not look £70 one way, shape, or form. Especially when you compare it to other sets that came out in its wave, it's just not a great valued set. But but overall it's a decent one, which is why I put it above other overpriced sets on this list, and it is deserving of the 23 spot. Next set is our first of 3 buildable figures on this list, being the Buildable Ewok. Now, I actually do like the Wicket Ewok build, but it just goes under the radar for how overpriced it actually is. This set is £120, and it has absolutely no right being that insane price tag. If you look at it, it's about the same size as the Buildable Chopper, which was £95, so there's absolutely no reason for it to be £15, £25 more, whichever I forgot. It doesn't matter, it doesn't take away from another overpriced set, but overall it is a decent set and a good way to get a Wicket Ewok in 2025. At the number 21 spot, I have the Buildable K2SO. Now, this one definitely feels much more worth the money at £90. Now, I do actually think the Buildable Ewok is a better build, but the K2SO is much more worth the money, which means that, in my opinion, it goes up by 1 spot. But these sets are very similar in terms of how good they are, in my opinion, which is why I think they are very interchangeable. So you could put them at either 22 or 23, and that's absolutely fine. In the number 20 spot, I have a battle pack actually worth the money in the Nitro battle pack. I think the minifigures are absolutely amazing in this set. The build is a bit lackluster, but it is absolutely fine, as we just go back to the regular £18 battle pack. Now, I don't think this one is as appealing to army build as Clone Troopers or just some regular Stormtroopers, but I do think it's a nice battle pack nonetheless, and I'm probably going to get a second one of these and make a nice Prodia mock. Let me know if that's something you would like to see in the comments down below. In the number 19 spot, I have the Home One Star Cruiser. Now, this is the first time we've ever seen this ship in LEGO form, and I think it's absolutely incredible. I think this is the only scale of this ship that you could make in LEGO that it would actually work, and I think it's a very good set for that, but it's just not as appealing to me as some other sets on this list, which is why it cracks the 19th spot. Next up in the number 18 spot, we have the only Microfighter from this year, being the Plo Koon Starfighter Microfighter. Now, this was one that I think should have been a full-size set at £30 to £35. I think that would have been absolutely incredible. But I do think this set is good for what it is. I think it's a shame that we don't get as many Microfighters as we used to. We used to get 4 or 5 a year, now we only get 1, and it is kind of underwhelming when we do just get the 1, especially when in the last couple of years it's a minifigure that should have been in a much bigger set, like the Rex should have been in a much larger Captain Rex Y-Wing, and here we should have had a much larger Starfighter. It's fine though, it's a very good Microfighter, probably one of the best, and one that deserves the number 18 spot on this list. At the number 17 spot, we have another overpriced set in the Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. Now, this set is absolutely incredible, an amazing minifigure lineup, and there's no real flaw with the actual set, but it's just a shame that it's £35. Sorry, I got that wrong, it's £40. Just when you think the price of Starfighters and Battle Packs, etc. couldn't get any worse, they increased the Starfighter price to £40. Now, this is one of the highest sets on the list that is actually overpriced, but that's just because there's no real flaw with this set. But yeah, £40 is way too much for a Starfighter, and it's deserving of the 17th spot on this list. The next set is one that I've been way too generous with, being the Battle of Fallujah Separatist MTT. But, it's my list, I'm allowed to have my biases. I think the minifigures in this set are near perfect, same for the build. The build is incredible. The price tag is a bit questionable, £140, it should be maybe 110, 100-ish. Another very overpriced set, but I can get over that because the build is just brilliant. I think it's incredible. I love the functionality, and I love the display ability as well. The minifigures are perfect, and the only real issue with the build is that you can only fit 6 battle droids on the rack. That is just embarrassing, to be honest. It needs to be fitting at least 8 to 10. And in a perfect world, it would be a lot bigger and fit closer to 16 to 18, like the old one from 2007. That set sadly still takes the cake as the best MTT of all time, but I do think the Separatist MTT is an amazing set and one that I think deserves to be in the 16th spot on this list, but would be a lot higher if the price was lower, or if it was just a lot bigger. Next up is the third of our 5 buildable figures in the Buildable Grogu with Pram. Now, I think this is an incredible set, great value, and good for display. It's a rare case of a set in 2025 with good value at £90, which I think is very fair. I think the standout of the set is definitely the Pram, and I love the way that Grogu can fit into it. It's very nice. And the little bug and those balls are a really nice inclusion as well to make it a little bit more worth it as well. I think if they swapped the price of this set and the Ewok, nobody would have batted an eye. I think that would have been very fair. But yeah, this is a very good set at £90. In the number 14 spot, I have this year's May 4th GWP, being the Kaminoan training facility. I think this is an absolutely incredible gift with purchase, as it is niche enough to be the perfect gift with purchase, and the minifigures are ones that we will probably never see ever again, so they are very good minifigures for a gift with purchase. They are super detailed and super unique as well, and it's just nice to get them. I like the side build, and the main build is super cool, and again, niche. And I did make a review of this set along with a couple more in this video, so you should definitely go check those out. And yeah, one of, if not the best May gift with purchase of all time, and deserving of the number 14 spot on this list. In the number 13 spot, I have the 8080 driver helmet. This is the first helmet that came out this year in the March wave, and I think this is an incredible helmet, but just not better than any set on this list, in my opinion. I would give it maybe like an 8 to 8.5 out of 10, which does say a lot about like the rest of these sets on this list, and the rest of them from here are like just all like really good, but before this, it's been kind of mediocre. And as always, this is a decent set and deserving of the number 13 spot. In the number 12 spot, I have the Arc 170 Starfighter. I think this is an incredible set overall. There are a few flaws. The minifigures are perfect, though, in my opinion, and overall the build is fine for £60. It's a little bit downscaled from 2010, but it's fine because it is actually cheaper than that set, but like there are also a lot of flaws with the general model, but overall it's fine. I think the most glaring issue is the stickers, but aside from that, it is fine. And even though I do personally think that this is an incredible set, maybe like top 5 this year, I just can't put it any higher than 12 because just realistically it's just not the best set. But yeah, that's number 12. In the 11th spot, I have the V19 Torrent. Now, even though I do think this thing is a little bit goofy looking, realistically, it is better than the Arc 170 and a lot of other sets on this list. The minifigures are near perfect. The clone pilot looks a bit goofy, in my opinion. I really don't like that minifigure. But aside from that, Obi-Wan and Ventress are perfect minifigures. Now, I think this set is maybe a little bit overpriced, but I can get over that. Like, it's only £60 or £70. It does look like it's worth the price tag. Maybe if it is overpriced, it's only overpriced by about £5. So I can get over that. But yeah, the V19 Torrent overall is a pretty good set. Next up in the number 10 spot is our second of 3 helmet sets. This one being the Kylo Ren helmet. Now, I really like this helmet. I think the shaping is good. I think the value is also very good. It is £10 cheaper than the usual helmet set, and that is very fair because it is a lot less bulky than most other helmet sets. But that does not mean that the quality isn't there, because the Kylo Ren helmet has a bunch of printed pieces and overall is an amazing helmet set to add to the collection. In the number 9 spot, I have the Acclimator class assault ship. I think this set is absolutely fantastic. The price per piece ratio is on the dot at 10 cents per piece. Now, even though I don't believe in price per piece, I just thought I'd mention it as it is very satisfying, and in a lot of people's eyes that makes it worth the money, as it is $45. I think the build is actually like near perfect. I think for the scale they've done a very good job, and at the £45 price tag it is an absolutely incredible set. And if you really wanted to, you could get 2 of this set and turn it into a Venator. I think that would be a really cool mock and a really cool video. Let me know in the comments down below if that's something that you would want to see. But yeah, a great set for any fan of Attack of the Clones or the Clone Wars. The number 8 spot I think is appropriate for the Jango Fett Starship. Now, this is the one that costs £70, and I think this is an incredible set. It is perfectly in scale with the Boba Fett Slave one from 2021, which I absolutely love to see. When I get this set in a few months' time, I will definitely make sure to put them next to each other on a shelf. I think that would look absolutely incredible. And I do actually like how they did manage to make some small and subtle upgrades over the 2021 variant. An amazing set and deserving of the number 8 spot. The 7th spot goes to the UCS 80SC. Now, I don't really have much to say about this set. The minifigure is fine, the build is incredible, but the price tag is not. I think this set is maybe £10 to £20 overpriced, but I can get over that by the fact that it's an absolutely amazing build, very large, and we don't really get many UCS sets at this price point, so I can kind of justify it for that reason. But yeah, a nice UCS set and a surprise to be sure. In the number 6 spot, I have got one of, if not the best helmet set of all time, being the Jango Fett helmet. I think this is an improvement on the Boba Fett helmet in almost every way. I love how much Jango Fett we are getting in 2025 after not seeing him for over 10 years. And with all the Jango Fett sets being an improvement over their counterpart, this one is no different. I think this set is absolutely fantastic and one that I'm very excited to add to my collection in the next few months. I think this set would look amazing next to my Commander Cody and Captain Rex helmet, as the Jango Fett helmet is the template for all the clone troopers, so I think this would be the perfect set to go alongside them. And at £70, you cannot go wrong with the Jango Fett helmet. Entering the top 5 with the number 5 spot, I have got the Battle Droid and Stab. Now, this set is a bit overpriced at £125, but I can get over that as it is an absolutely amazing build, one of the best of the year by far. I love that you can use the Battle Droid as its own separate figure and have the Stab separate if you would like, and the attention to detail on this set is phenomenal. Overall, an absolutely amazing set, and one that I do think is £15 overpriced. I think 110 would have been much more appropriate, but 125 isn't the most insane thing that we have seen this year, and I still think it deserves the number 5 spot. In the number 4 spot, I've got the largest Star Wars set of all time, and also the most expensive LEGO set of all time, being the UCS Death Star. I think think the build for this set is absolutely phenomenal. The attention to detail is incredible, and the only ick with the actual build itself is that there are a lot of stickers, and that should be printed pieces. I know a lot of people don't like that this set is a sphere, but I love the direction that they went with this set. I think it makes it a lot more unique and sets it apart from other toy companies and from previous Death Stars. I also think this is the best LEGO Death Star we have ever gotten, which is absolutely amazing, and I love that I can be able to say that. But the minifigures is where this set is let down for me, and why I've only put this in the number 4 spot, where it probably could have been in the 2 or 3 spot. There are so many minifigures in this set that should have had dual molded legs. It is absolutely absurd to me how many minifigures that just could have been so much better there are. I made a full in-depth video about every single thing that is wrong with the minifigures a few weeks back. You can actually check that out on my TikTok. But yeah, overall, the minifigures in this set are absolutely pathetic. There are 38 of them, and I actually think the selection of minifigures is near perfect. Maybe a couple more Stormtroopers would have been nice. But yeah, the selection is perfect, but the execution is just not there for me. And that is why I have only put this set in the number 4 spot. And also, I know a lot of people complain about the $1,000 price tag, but I actually don't think that's all that bad. If you have a look at other sets of a similar price range at the $850 price tag, we have the UCS Millennium Falcon and the UCS 8080, and this set is a lot bigger and bulkier than those, so I think the price is justifiable in my opinion. And honestly, I think I could talk about this set for 51 minutes and 26 seconds, but it still doesn't make it into the top 3 for me. Next, in the number 3 spot, I have a set that I know a lot of you would have put a lot lower, but I'm putting the Buildable Chopper in the number 3 spot. I think this set is absolutely amazing. I love the minifigure, and I love that it is in scale with the C-3PO and R2-D2 from 2024. I absolutely love that collection of sets, and I'm so excited to add this one to my collection and have the 3 all next to each other. I think the Buildable Chopper is an amazing set with very, very few flaws, and one that definitely deserves to be in the number 3 spot in my opinion. The only thing I don't like about this set is that they increased the price by £5. I think this set could have easily been £90 and they wouldn't have even noticed a thing. The R2-D2 was £90, and that was a lot bigger, of course, because it's a bigger droid. So there was absolutely no reason for the price to be increased by £5, other than the fact that there was like a couple hundred more pieces, but you know, fair enough. But like, still, it's a lot smaller. It's not the end of the world, but that's the only reason I have for not putting this in the number 2 spot. Well, now we are in the top 2, and you may be thinking, Ollie, there's 31 sets when you've only done 30 spots. What happened to the other set? Well, I have been unable to sleep. I've been tossing and turning, and I cannot decide which is the better set. That is not true at all, but the number 2 spot goes to both the Rebel U-Wing and the Star Wars logo. I think these are both fantastic sets, and I will talk about both about them in a moment. Starting with the Rebel U-Wing, I have already described how much I love this set in my review back in May. You should definitely go check that out if you haven't already. I think this set is absolutely phenomenal. There are no major complaints in my opinion. I think as a set, this is better than the 2016 variant of a U-Wing, but in terms of like scale and minifigures and interior, that one does take the cake. But I fully believe that if this set was at the same scale as the 2016 set, this set would be about 1,000,000 miles better. But I think at this scale, they have done a very good job, especially considering it is like £30 less than the U-Wing from 2016. And overall, this is one of my favourite sets in my collection, and the second best set in this year, in my opinion. The set that it is tied with is once again the Star Wars logo, and I think this set is a sleek masterpiece. I love the A New Hope Easter eggs that are hidden within the model, and I think this is one of the best, if not the best, display set of all time. I think this is a set that absolutely every Star Wars fan should get, and if you are not getting this set, you are missing out heavily. There are so many amazing ways that you can display this set, and honestly, it is one of my favourites in my collection, and that is why it's also tied with the U-Wing. As with all rankings, you have to get to the number 1 spot eventually, and my number 1 spot, the best set from 2025, I have the UCS Jango Fett Slave 1. This set is perfect in nearly every way. The only problem with this set could possibly be that the young Boba Fett is probably the worst minifigure from the year. The minifigure is just fully inaccurate, but aside from that, the set is perfect. The value for money, the other minifigure, which is Jango Fett, that minifigure is nearly perfect as well. Not only is this set absolutely amazing for display, it has also got some incredible play functionality, and it looks an amazing fun set to build. This is a must-have for any Attack of the Clones fan or any Jango Fett fan, just like me. That is why I'm getting the set, obviously. Overall, this set is absolutely incredible and is the best set from 2025 in terms of quality, play functionality, display ability. Honestly, there is no major flaw with this set aside from the young Boba Fett minifigure, which is why I'm going to give it a 9.9 out of 10. I am so excited to be getting this set. It'll probably be late to mid 2026, but I am still so excited. Thank you so much to the people who watched until this point. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if this video does well, I will know exactly what to do, and that is to make more content just like this. I am super excited for bigger creators like 5 Lonely Clones or M&R Productions to make their rankings that I can kind of compare. I think that would be super fun for me to do. And I hope you enjoyed watching my ranking of every 2025 LEGO Star Wars set. Anyway, let me know what you think of this, and thanks for watching. Bye.